Yeah, it was.
It was. Dang, that was 5 years
And y'all
ago.
weren't even gonna pull up. That's crazy. But anyways,
Like,
yeah, no, bro. And now we're here, and you going crazy with the food reviews and stuff like that.
who would have thought that, honestly? As soon as I started doing the food, it was actually when I competed.
Yeah.
Remember? As soon as I was done competing, as soon as I stepped on stage, when you said Renzo eat whatever, bro, that's when I started just pulling out the camera, and then Renzoeats was born.
Wait,
Crazy.
but we talked about it. You had intentions beforehand
Before, yeah.
to do that though.
Yeah, I've always wanted to do. I just never had the confidence to do it.
Yeah.
So,
No, I think that one thing that I wanted to talk about was like all the kind of, I don't want to say phases, but almost phases in your life that like since we've known each other that we've been through, and we talk about it all the time about like where like we always were like, yo, we got to do this, we got to
Yeah.
figure this out, we got to do this, and then like for you to like get into that because again, I don't know how you feel about talking about it, but right after the show was actually like, not maybe even the best time for you.
yeah.
And, like to be where you were at mentally because going through the show and doing all that was just, I mean, it was it's mental warfare to
Bro,
begin
yeah.
with. Because think about it, you were just cutting casually, remember?
Yeah, I think I lost 40 pounds before I decided to step on stage.
Yeah.
Bro, because I was a hefty dude, bro.
And then I don't remember how much did you lose after that?
Bro, I think I lost
the
80
show.
pounds in 80 pounds in total because I think I was at 220-ish.
Yeah.
And I dropped down to, bro, I stepped on stage at 129, bro.
Yeah, that was crazy.
So it was way more than 80 pounds, right?
I don't know. I'm
don't
not
know.
doing the math,
Me
but
neither,
yeah, it was a
but
lot.
Yeah.
And it was worse because we weren't planning on doing
Nope.
a show. You just randomly were like, yo, how do you feel about this?
Yeah.
And I have to say, I did say you shouldn't do it.
Yeah, I remember. But the thing is that with my mindset with the whole show, I didn't care about like placing at all.
Yeah.
I didn't care because I knew like I was overweight, yes, but I knew once I lose all that weight, I didn't have enough size. But the thing is that, I've always wanted to do it. I just at one point fitness was something that I love so much. I still love working out now, but
Yeah.
like back, how we used to talk
Yeah,
about back
yeah.
in the day, we just want to be in the gym scenery.
Yeah.
But now it's like, yeah. So at that moment, I was just like, you know what? I just always let other people's opinion get to me,
Right.
and I just never really wanted to do what I wanted. So with prep, I just like, because it was on summer shredding. So how summer shredding had all those like
Yeah.
classes and stuff. And I thought about doing the transformation thing, but I didn't think I was big enough for that. So I was like, you know what? I actually always want to do the men's physique. And let me just go for it. I already lost 40 pounds. Might as well just get shredded and get that dream body that I've always wanted. So obviously you were coaching me through me just cutting. And then, you're my boy, and I trusted you, and you got me right, bro. And like I said, my goal was not to place whatsoever. I just wanted to prove like the younger me that I did it. I went from being like really big to shredded and just accomplishing my dream body,
Yeah.
and it was just like one of the best feelings ever. So, shout out to you, Miles. Like
I
you
appreciate
coached
it.
me through it
Yeah.
all, and no matter what, even I had my days when I complained, bro. I did everything that you said because it's like what you said, and I used to hate when you used to say this. You'd be like, Renzo, not my results, it's yours.
Yeah.
I used to hate when you said that, but I was like, bro, you know what? That's true, and that honestly motivated me so much. So shout out to you, man.
No, I mean, it was awesome. I mean, it's funny because us being so close and me coaching you, I like also anyone that I do know, I want to separate it. You
Right.
know what I mean? I don't
Right.
want us to, if you want to eat chocolate right now, like I'm just, still coaching you. I mean, obviously you shouldn't do it. And maybe that's a flaw in my coaching, but like we're friends.
Right.
Now,
right.
if you were just my client and you came here for whatever reason, I'd be like, nah, you can't eat that.
Right.
But we're friends. And so I don't want you to be like, he's my homie, but he's my coach. So I can't even be,
Yeah.
and again, at the end of that, that's your results, not mine.
Exactly.
So it's like, even if you eat the chocolate, you don't got to tell me you would hide
Right.
it or whatever, but like,
No, I stayed
gonna
on
show.
bro. Yeah, like I said, like I stayed on everything, on point on everything, and it was so hard. Like now, because you're coaching me now, and I already lost like 8 pounds.
Yeah.
Because this whole like these food reviews, which we can talk about, but like eventually they catch up to me, and so I was like, all right, I gotta tighten up again. So honestly, bro, even now, like just being on low calories or just doing cardio, whatever it is, bro, is nothing compared to prep.
Yeah.
Like nothing. So honestly, I'm glad that I did it
Yeah,
because
for
it just
sure.
got me so disciplined. And like I said, I just stepped on stage just to not to only show me, just to show anybody else who wants to actually do it, and they don't care like what anyone says, like they should do it. So that's why I did it, man. So
Yeah.
it was awesome.
No, that was awesome.
I would never do it again, though.
No,
No,
yeah,
I would never do it again.
yeah. So I also too want to speak on. I don't remember the exact timeline. But you got way more involved with your faith and Christianity and everything.
Right.
And you know, I actually want to like kind of spice things up a little bit with
Okay.
this question that I was thinking about last night. So from who you've been in the past, which not bad or anything like that,
Yeah.
comparing to your faith and everything now with like dating, because you're single, right?
Yeah, I'm saying.
Like how do you feel, like what is your thoughts on like dating, going into dating as a Christian man now?
For me, before I gave my life to Christ, I didn't care what people. Well, I don't care. It's not like I care what people believe in, but the thing is that for me, what I look for now is I do look for someone that has the same beliefs as me.
Yeah.
So I do want to be with a Christian woman as well, because I feel like if we believe in the same things, and there's things that we can compromise, but if we believe in the same things, then we will be equally yoked. Because if I'm a Christian man and I'm dating like an atheist or someone spiritual, we're not gonna agree on things, which is even in Christians, like there's some things we don't agree on, right?
Right.
But the thing is that I think about a long term like having kids. So it's like I may like, oh, let's do this, but like, nah, I don't believe in that. I don't want that. And so I just feel like we're just gonna have like just a bunch of, it could be arguments, conflicts. Yeah, exactly. And so for me, it's like now I do look for that in a woman. And even I've tried to date like Christian women. It never worked out, and that's also okay. I just feel like we weren't compatible and stuff. But yeah, back then, I believed in God, but it's more than just believing in stuff. And so back then, I didn't care. I was like, oh, okay, if you believe of a God, then I'm okay. I'll date you. But now that I gave my life to Christ, and I'm a youth leader and everything like that, I studied the Bible, I studied everything like that, and now like I know what I'm looking for in a woman. And so if there's someone who is interested in me and we don't have the same beliefs, you're not a terrible person. Right. We're not compatible. Yeah. And I just feel like I look at everything and not just like, okay, well, maybe we can get away with it, because I actually been through that before and it did not work out well.
Yeah.
I
actually am double backing because we should have talked about it when about coaching. I know a lot of people wonder, how do you eat like everything?
Bro, I get that question so many times, bro. Even when I answer it, I still get that question again. So
well, you don't eat all of it.
No, I eat like 50% of it, honestly. Or yeah, like honestly 50%. It depends. If it's the savory foods, like 50% of it. When it comes to the sweets, like those crazy brownies or cookies that I'm doing, just 2 bites out of each cookie, and then I'm straight, bro.
So how do you feel about wasting all of it?
I don't waste it. I actually share it to my brother. Shout out to Brandon. Or like my mom. Or honestly, I share it to because I do work part-time with my dad, so I share it with my coworkers too.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. So it never goes to waste. I would never waste food. But how I stay fit, I eat half of it. And Miles, shout out to Miles, he's the one who's coaching me too, again, because eventually, I said it earlier, that the food started catching up to me.
Yeah.
Because at one point I didn't want to work out anymore. I think I just came to a point in my life, I was like, I just want to kind of just step away from it and just focus on this food. I was doing cardio, but I wasn't like working out. I wasn't like getting my protein in. I was just like, it's whatever. And then it eventually started catching up to me. So I was like, you know what? I always told myself, I don't ever want to get overweight again. Right. I've been through that. It's just a lot of stress on my body. I don't want to go through that again. So I've always been like, that's what I say, shout out to prep. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, because if I didn't go through that prep, it would have. I don't think I would just. I'll be too comfortable. And we always talked about like we never want to be comfortable where we're at. So yeah, I hit you up again, and here we are now, 8 pounds down. And I'm still losing weight while doing this. So Monday through Friday, weight lift. And then I think you put on there like 45 minutes of cardio 3 times a week, and then the other 2, 1 hour, and always try to get 12K steps every single day. And I drink a gallon of water. I track my macros. So that's why I do Monday through Friday. Then the weekends, this is when I just do the reviews. And even when I do the reviews, like what you said, I still got to get my steps in throughout the days. So that's honestly how I stay fit, man.
Do you ever feel like guilty eating all the food that you eat?
No, because I do have my days where it's like I do tend to overeat, but then later on, like on the scale, it still said I lost weight and stuff. I was like, all right, it's working. I don't know. Like after my show, I did go to I get the what's it called, the post show blues. You know?
Yeah. I
was
forgot
like,
what it's called. But yeah,
I think that's
yeah.
what it's called, the post show blues or whatever. I had really bad body dysmorphia. I gained like 20 pounds after my show.
Yeah.
And it really got to me. So after going through all of that, I can finally say I have a great relationship with food. It took years because my whole life I was overweight, and so now that I'm finally fit and I feel good and stuff, I finally found the balance to get away with these foods. So that's why I don't tend to overeat anymore. Because honestly, I can't eat like that every day.
Yeah.
I feel disgusting. I feel bloated, and it honestly just it messes up my workouts and my cardio. So honestly, the weekends is just perfect for me, and then the weekdays, like I rather feel hungry than feel bloated and disgusting, you know what I'm saying? So yeah.
No, I think it's crazy that you like you said, you have that good relationship with food, and also too, for anyone that is like wanting to eat all that food or even does eat all that food and they're like, dang, one thing about Renzo that I have to say is like, and I try to give him his props for it all the time, is like if he has a goal, he does it. Like, you know, like if I said 0 carbs tomorrow, like he's gonna be like, okay. Yep. Like, he's not going to be like, why, bro? He's not going to complain. He's just going to be like, all right. Yeah. Like, all right, I trust you, 0 carbs. Yeah. And I think, like, you hit your markers. A lot of people, even listen to this, right? If I didn't say this part, I feel like this is important. And this is not a fitness pod. But people come to me because they think, oh, like, okay, so – oh, Renzo, he can eat all that and be good. So then that means I can go work with him and he can help me. But the thing is you're not, like, you will hit your 12K steps and make sure of it. You will make sure you're drinking your gallon of water. Mm-hmm. You will sit there and make sure you hit your macros. You will make sure you get your workout. You will make sure you do that. Yep. Other people say, I'm going to eat this. Oh, it's a little bit over. It's okay. Yep. Oh, I only got 8,000 steps or whatever it's set to today. You know, and I think that, again, shout out to you. Like, a part of you being able to do it is that you say, okay, this is the plan, and I follow it. And I think that's awesome.
It's because it's like what you said. It's your results, not mine. And I like I said, I did not like when you said that, but it really got to me. So I tell people, it's like, it's not hard what I'm doing behind the scenes without when I do these food reviews, but I do still got to put in the work. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, and I love what I do, so I don't want to sound like it's a like I don't like doing this, but it's like I bought the I don't know, I think you saw in my store, I bought like the portable little treadmill thing.
Yeah, I did see that.
That's what I'm saying. Like, bro, I got that because I was gone throughout the whole day and I only had like 2K steps at the moment. I said, oh nah, and you know, I have a puppy and I don't want him to, I'm training him to not, to stay home. And so he was home throughout the whole day. And so I was like, all right, I don't want to keep leaving him by himself. So I was like, you know what? I pulled out my portable treadmill and bro, it was just so clutch. Like I hit like maybe 14,000 steps.
Link in bio.
Yeah, link in bio. So that's what I'm saying. Like for me, it's like, bro, I just do it, man. Like no questions asked. And that's, you know, I do have that discipline. And like, yo, shout out to you for real, because even before we did the fitness thing, we've always had like serious talks, and you just always pushed me because you knew I could do more. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, shout out to me. Hey, we got a special guest. You hear that, Kaylee? Shout out to me. The setup looks good.
I came in at the right time. That was so sweet. You were like, you knew that I could be more.
Yeah. Miles always just pushed me, and I just never really had that from my brother does push me and my mom does push me, but I guess just I just never had that from another friend. Well, I did like in like 2012. He was like a close friend of mine. He passed away, so it was like a big thank you. It was a really like bad part of my life, but then I looked at it as a positive way, so it motivated me just to keep on living, just keep on you know, just doing things that he would have wanted me to do. For sure. So with Miles, he kind of reminds me a lot about him. I don't think I ever told Miles that, but he kind of he kind of reminds me a lot about him. So I never met. I mean, I have other close guy friends. Like shout out to them, but with Miles is like a different relationship with him, and so he just always wants the best for me, and and so
I'm more mean though.
yeah, he's more, but
Like
I
I
like
say
that.
it, I say it in a way like I have to tell this story.
Oh man, I knew he was gonna say it. Go
The
ahead.
first time we worked out together, like I started like training him. Well, we were really working out together,
Yeah.
and we're doing squats, and he has 225, like 125 on each side.
125 pounds on
No,
each
it's 115. No, it's 115 total.
You did say 225 though. That sounded better.
Yeah.
side. He's
A quarter on
squatting
each side.
115.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm not gonna get it. Keep going.
Anyways, I was like, yo, we were warming up,
Okay.
and I was like, yo, like, no, this is warm up. Like, go heavier. And he's like, no, this is my warm up. And shout out to Sarah, my old workout partner. And I was like, yo, Sarah warms up with more than this. Like, what are you doing? Like, and he got so mad at me. The next week, he squats.
You're like, no, this is how I'm warming up. Like, get off my dick.
I said I don't care what Sarah does.
Yeah,
I was like,
he
this
was-
is what I do.
So then the next week, he puts on 135. He's like, yo, I got so much stronger. I was like, no, you didn't, bro. You just weren't pushing yourself. Like, you don't gain that much strength in a week. And, you know,
Yeah.
he hated that.
Yeah.
But I always, like, we always talk about this, like, if I never said that, or like he was saying earlier, like, I always be like, as his coach, like, it's your results, not mine. I don't care what you
I mean,
do.
that's true. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
so it's like, if I never kind of said it in that almost like, I'm just being blunt with you. Like,
No, yeah. The
if
thing
you want
is
to
that
eat cake right now, just eat cake.
you gave me the plan, and if I don't do it, what do I expect if I don't see my results?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's honestly that simple. It's like we always say it too. It just shows how badly do you want it.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah,
You always said that,
yeah.
and I want it badly.
All right, well, it's not about me. So how do you ever feel like sick when you're eating it though, like the food?
When it comes to the sweets, yes, because I get these.
So much sugar.
Yeah, I know. I guess like sugared out, but like these cookie companies, like yesterday, I got like 3 packages from these cookie companies. I'm like, oh my gosh. So it does get to me sometimes.
That's
Mostly
my
the sugar,
dream.
To eat just straight cookies?
Oh my
or like just sweets
God.
or food in general.
Sweets.
I love.
cookies.
Oh
yeah.
no.
If I came home and there were 3 packages of cookies on my door, I would be like,
I know. I want to review them at that second, but I have a plan.
sure.
Yeah.
I got to follow it. So I'm
Yeah.
like, but it kind of sucks when I have so many packages come all at once. I'm like, dang, I'm gonna feel like trash. But
Right.
I still plan it out very well. And honestly, Miles, I'm about to tell you, like, I did a review on a Wednesday, right? Which is I only do on the weekends. And 2 days later, I still lost 2 pounds, man.
Yeah,
Which is
see?
crazy.
Check in.
Yeah, I still
Well,
lost 2 pounds.
You can edit this if you've already asked it, but what has there ever been an experience where you've been like, I cannot finish this. This food is disgusting.
Yes.
Really?
Yes. I haven't felt
You don't
like
have to
that in a
name
long
drop
time.
if it's bad, but like,
Mm,
No, you don't gotta name
what
it.
No,
Don't
what
name
what
it.
type of food was it? Can you tell us that?
I think it was. Dang, I ate so many foods. I don't remember sometimes.
Really?
Yeah, I think it was pizza.
Pizza.
Yeah.
And you were just like,
This is disgusting. You know, but that was a long time ago. I don't remember. I haven't had that recently at all.
damn.
Yeah.
I'm all over the place for
No,
a
do
second,
your
but
thing.
you mentioned your brother and your mom. Do
Mhm.
you have a dad?
I do have a dad. We just don't really have a relationship.
Okay.
So my mom, she pretty much raised me and my brother.
Okay, so you grew up with like a single mom.
Yeah, my
Okay.
mom, single mom. She worked multiple jobs. She raised me and my brother. She played.
Is my passion project.
Yeah,
I
my
guess.
mom. Like I've seen, like I respect a lot of single moms and see what they do for their child because I may not understand as like I don't have kids, right? So I would never know how it feels like as a parent to raising
Yeah.
kids, but as a son who's seen their mom go through what they went through, I'm like I respect a lot of women who do it themselves because it's not easy. Because I've seen a lot from my mom, and so shout
Mhm.
out to her. So yeah,
I love that.
yeah.
Do you think that it has? No.
I was gonna be like, bro.
Did being raised by a single mom impact your like dating
It did.
life at all?
It
Like, do
did.
you have a certain extra respect for women?
For sure.
Is your mom like? Will she like beat the shit out of you if you treat women badly?
She will be, yeah,
Okay.
honestly, before, at one point, I had, when I was like a teenager, at one point I had like my hoish phase.
Yeah.
So I remember when I went through all that and, I told my mom about it and she was just like, she was so sad. She was so upset with me because she was like, that's not the man I raised.
Oh
She was
my
like, I always taught you to respect women, blah, blah, blah. And when we had that talk, that honestly changed my mindset. And I started, like, looking at things differently. And it's because I was around people who used to hype me up. Because I was overweight my whole life. And so when I lost all the weight, my boys would just be like, oh, Renzo, like you can pull anybody you want and stuff. So I started letting that get into my head,
Yeah.
and so I started doing whatever. But yeah, my mom, I'm very close with her, so I feel like I understand. My friends always joke on me for this. I feel like I understand women so well just
Yeah.
because my mom raised me.
Yeah.
So I have like a lot of friends that are girls, and they always say, Renzo, you're part of the girls.
Yeah.
Because I can understand them and what they're talking about. They always come to me for advice because they feel like they feel like they're talking to another woman.
All right. Come on, bro. You set yourself up, bro.
I'm just saying,
You're setting
look,
yourself up for a bad clip, but I do
it doesn't
understand what you're saying.
I mean, for me, I'm just being honest. Like,
Yeah.
that's just who I am. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So, regardless of men, like, come at me for that, I'm just being myself.
I
you know?
have a son, and I have to be mom and dad,
Yeah.
and so that I think plays a huge role as a single mom when you're like, I have to be really firm
Yeah.
and boundaries and like be that masculine
Yeah.
portion of your child's parent, but then also like be cuddly and sweet.
Yeah.
And so you probably have like a perspective of women that we can be both of that, like
Exactly.
the dichotomy of that. So anyway,
That's what
I
mom.
just want to touch on. I
Yeah.
was like, oh, you didn't say dad. Where's your dad?
That's what I told moms. Me and moms always have like these deep conversations. It's like I didn't have my dad wasn't there to like toughen me up, so I don't know how it feels to like be a man. Whatever what men
Sure.
think
Whatever that
being
means.
about being a man. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm like I never had that. I'm like I've always grown up to like express myself. It's okay to cry and all that stuff. But as a man, it's like nah, go.
Shout out your mom.
You know, like go fight this dude or like nah, screw that, blah blah blah. And honestly, you know, me and my dad, we are okay right now, so I don't want to like put him down.
Sure,
but
sure.
as a kid, he just wasn't there for me, and so I had this one conversation. I was going to San Diego, and there was this guy. We were just talking. We just connected, and so I told him a little bit about my story, and he was like, you know what? He's like, you should tell your dad thank you. I'm like, why? He's like, because if he would have raised you, you would have became just like him. I was like, dang,
That's deep right
That
You're
is
there.
like
deep.
mic drop on this flight to
I
San
was like,
Diego.
that's true. And you know, like a couple years ago, me and my dad had a deep conversation. He apologized
Sure.
and you know he said I'm sorry, blah blah blah. So I forgave him. I have no hate against him, no
Yeah.
grudge or anything like that. But it did mean a lot that he did apologize to me. He said, don't be like me. And I'm like, I never want to be like you, respectfully.
Yeah.
So
But-
Respectfully.
you know,
But like also too, we've talked about it, like
We talked about it last week.
I feel like sometimes your dad not being maybe where he like what you wanted him to be or whatever
Yeah.
also kind of turns into an internal driving factor.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think that's something like, you know, that me and Renzo actually talk about a lot, you know, and it's like I feel like most people, whether they realize it or not, they use like whether it's a childhood trauma because missing mom, dad, whatever case may be, they
Right.
use that and then they try to prove themselves, right?
Yeah.
And I think like at the end of the day, like whether you think it's that way or whether you use it in a positive or negative aspect, you even just knowing you as a person for as long as I have, you always are not just proving yourself. That's not the right word I want to use, but you know what I mean? Always like
yeah.
bettering yourself. And I
Yeah.
think that if you even look at a lot of people that are successful or have
Yeah.
something like, they have that kind of same like they want to be better because
Yeah.
of maybe they didn't have a parent or whoever it may be.
like almost in spite of.
Yeah.
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 I mean, my dad, the one thing I would say about him, like, he is a hardworking man. I mean, he came to the United States when he was like 23 years
From where?
old. From Peru. So he had nothing. He had to work his way up. So I do respect. I always tell that. I always tell a lot of people. Like my dad. He is a hardworking man. So I would never say like he didn't do anything. But
Sure.
as a father, just giving me that love and showing up and all that stuff, it was all my mom.
Sure.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It
He
was all
wasn't
my
a
mom.
deadbeat by any means.
No, he wasn't like a
just
deadbeat dad. Yeah,
Wasn't
yeah.
present in the way that you needed.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I mean, even though we still don't have a relationship, it's okay. I don't want to ever force anything,
Sure.
but as long as I know that we did have that one serious conversation, just to I say what I said, he said what he said, and if one day, you know, whatever happens. And so I just yeah, I love him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
no,
we
I
talked
think
about it last
that's
week too. Like we do have to kind of remember like I'm a parent right now.
Yeah.
I'm also just a person. Like
Mhm.
I'm living life for the first time, and
Yeah.
like we're all just literally doing the best that we can.
Right,
and so
right.
like your dad was probably doing what he thought was best. Sounds like he
Exactly.
was working and providing in the way that
Exactly.
he needed, but
Because he didn't have a dad when he grew
Right.
up because his dad passed away when he was like 14 years old. So I feel
he
like
didn't know.
he didn't know. So he did what he thought was good.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And
So
his
nothing-
age is not allowed to show that emotion that he
Yeah, back
that
in
trauma.
generation, yeah.
Yeah.
So like yeah.
And culturally.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Hispanics, it's different.
Yeah.
Blacks too. What?
Yeah.
He's a black-
African American?
Yeah,
White,
yeah.
white people just cry all the time. So it's,
Huh?
I said white people just cry all the time.
Uh,
Are you dating right now?
No, I'm not. Well, I want to date, but I haven't met anybody now.
Okay. When
Mhm.
was your last relationship?
About like almost 3 years ago. We were together for like 5 years.
Holy macaroni.
Yeah. Long.
What happened?
Long story short, we just we weren't compatible. Honestly, our relationship. I tend to rush things, and so we just met each other, and it just happened so quickly. And honestly, what really showed about our relationship was COVID. COVID, it was just, oh my gosh. It was,
That's
yeah, COVID, we were like stuck together 24/7. It was just a lot of stuff that we went through together, and no hate for her or anything like that. We just weren't each other's, people. Person. Yeah,
Wait,
yeah.
that's a small topic I've always wanted to talk about, relationships during COVID. I
Mhm.
feel like that happened to a lot of people
It did.
because you got forced into this like time warp
Yeah.
where like 2 days felt
Yeah.
like 3 months
Right.
and you were just doing the same thing over and over and over
Exactly.
and you were spending literally 24/7 with somebody and you couldn't
Yeah.
have any influence from the outside world. You can't see
Yeah.
your friends, like nothing.
Yeah.
So
The one thing that we
you
really
saw somebody's true colors.
Yeah, yeah, and the one thing that we really didn't just agree on, and this is my fault. In the beginning, she didn't want to like have kids or get married, and I thought maybe as time went by,
Oh, you thought you could change her.
yeah, that's always my problem. Like I can fix you,
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Or like if you're around me, you might get influenced,
Yeah.
cause but it didn't happen, and so later on, I was like, I had to let her go, and
Yeah.
she was younger than me.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. So I just feel like yeah,
Well-
I needed to let that go because I know what I'm looking for in a person, and I'm not. I settled for a little bit, but I was like, nah, I know what I want now.
What's the youngest you would date now? How old are you?
I'm 30.
Okay, and how young would you go?
The youngest like 25 now.
Okay, and what's the oldest you would go?
Maybe like 33,
What?
33, 32. It's because I want to have kids, right? You know what I'm saying? So if I'm
yeah, but never mind.
what?
You want to date someone older that old?
That's too old?
That's
would say
too
so.
old?
Yeah. Heck yeah. We talked
Well,
about
because
this.
when they're 35, they can't have kids. Well, I mean,
They can.
They
No,
can,
it's
but it's
older
not
now.
better.
Oh God!
I'll say 33 or 32.
I'm gonna be 30. What? 32?
The oldest,
Oh
yeah.
my God.
The oldest I'm dating is 26 to 28. That's I'm not.
Okay,
going.
well, you're not dating anyone.
No, if I were to
You're
be
single.
if I were to be single right now, the youngest to oldest would be 26
Yeah.
to 28. I wouldn't.
26 to 28.
Yeah.
Do you know what a piece of shit? Well, do you know what a piece of shit I was at 26?
I mean, that's you.
Yeah, but like you,
No, 26.
you
If
don't
you
even
get
know who you are at 26.
just
nah, you
depends where you
start
are.
to. You start to
Well,
at
yeah.
26. In my opinion,
Your brain just fully formed.
at 26, your brain has fully formed, and you know that you want to be a mom, a wife, or whatever.
Yeah,
You know
yeah.
what career you've had because you've been out of college for a while. You're set. You're getting ready, and you are ready. You should be getting close to ready.
At 26, you should be ready for life.
Not ready, but you should. I believe that a good woman that I would want to be with is going to know what she wants at 26.
But think
a
about-
women are way more mature.
But think about this though. It isn't honestly. I think age does play a factor into. But I feel like it just depends where you are in life because there's people who are 30,
No, for
31,
sure.
32. They're like, nah, I still don't want kids.
People
I'm
are
not ready.
35 that don't know what the hell they're doing.
Yeah,
And then there's
that's what
people
I'm
that
saying.
are 21 that like have a good head on their shoulders. Okay.
Not statistically, but like I would say on average when I'm looking across the board, like a 26-year-old woman that is a good woman, like unless she's not already wifed up, that
Yeah.
is the age where she went and partied crazy in college. She's got a job if she's working and she has a career. She has no kids. Yeah. Like
Yeah.
I'm not dating anyone younger than 30.
You shouldn't. It's different for women.
I think so.
It's different for women. If I were you, I wouldn't date a man under 35.
When I was on Hinge, I didn't have like an age preference or whatever, and like these like 19-year-olds would try to like. I was like, you're a child. Oh my God! I would like send me to jail.
Would you hook up with a 19-year-old?
0% chance. That's my sister's age. Anyway,
Okay.
that was such a tangent, but like
Yeah.
32 is what. I mean, I understand the kid thing, but like, I'm gonna be having kids up until I'm like 40.
Unless I want kids. Unless I don't want kids, then older. But I just look into that. Like, I don't mind like a woman having kids, but I want my
Your
kids
own
too.
biological chip. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
look,
That's fair.
I really want to ask about this because I'm gonna be honest. I saw something online, and it was talking about men saying used goods. Like, have you gotten
single
that?
moms are used goods. Well, now we have somebody who was raised by a single mom.
That doesn't mean anything.
What do
I
you
was
mean?
raised by a single mom.
Oh yeah, I always forget that.
Like, no, honestly.
What
like,
happened?
Used goods, like they're saying, like women with kids, single moms are used goods, and I think that's a very aggressive term to use.
But Miles also agrees with it.
No, I mean, yeah, it's true, but so is a man with kids. Like, I feel like women forget that.
Okay, all right, back up for 2 seconds. Dads don't have the same responsibility as moms do, and their lives are not as impacted as having kids as moms are.
Correct.
With the outlier of like some random single dads who like the moms are completely out of the picture. I get that. But dads dating that have kids are able to have flexibility in their schedule. They can go out and do things. They can go on trips. They can do whatever. Like me, like it took an act of God to get a babysitter to come here, you know?
Exactly. So why would I date you if I got to deal with that all day? I'm trying to live. You know what I'm saying?
Because
like,
we also bring a lot to the table.
I'm not saying you don't. There's
I got
amazing.
Uncrustables.
But like, look. I think that women with kids are great. It's not like they are flawed. Like they are bad women. I think that at the end of the day, okay, would you date a guy with 5 kids?
5?
Why not?
No, I'm not going to date a guy
Okay,
with 5
why
kids.
not, though?
I'll date a guy with 2 kids.
Why not? Why not 5? Why not? He's a good dad. He's a good dad. He's a good dad.
There's no way that man has time. Why is he even dating?
Exactly.
Why
And
is he even
but look,
dating?
you said there's no way he has time, right?
No way he has
Okay,
time.
well, I don't got the time to deal with a woman with 2 kids. If I look, as a man, I am a used goods. I've been married. I have a kid. I'm used goods, and I'm 31.
God forbid, what if Sam passed away?
I would find someone, but I'm just saying, if a woman that is 26-year-old, who is a beautiful, loyal, moral, strong, has her values and everything, I wouldn't expect her to date me. Maybe I can get, work my move, and maybe I can spit some crazy game to her. And because I'm not trying to boost myself, because I'm an outlier in a lot of things that women look for, like maybe I can get her. But at the end of the day, if a woman at 26 doesn't want to date me because I've been married and have kids, I'm used goods.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Renzo, what's your perspective? Miles
I'm
needs
just
to
trying
shut the
process
fuck up.
everything
I
in
know.
my head.
Would you date a girl with... Would you date somebody with 2 kids?
Yeah, I would say why not. I think it just depends on the.
One thing-
I just think it depends on. It's not the kid's fault because my mom. You know what I'm saying? I don't think it's the kid's fault.
That's what I'm saying. It's good we have his
I
not
can
about that.
I can love someone else's kids like my own.
Sure.
I just look at the baby daddies.
You're not gonna love them like your own, but yeah.
Right.
Right, yeah.
I get that. I get
and
that.
you shouldn't be expected to.
Right. But the thing is that for me, I look at it as like, how is the dad?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure. And I'm not
That's
dealing
why I
with
look
that.
at
I
that.
don't have to deal with that.
You know what? Yes. Because that, I would like to change my answer. I will date a man with 5 kids as long as his baby mama is not in the picture.
But that's what I'm saying. She has to be in the picture. You know that. You said that.
I mean, unless you
What
did.
if-
5 kids, ain't no way she not in the picture.
What
of
if,
one of them.
what I'm trying to say is like maybe she's like dead, or like maybe
Yeah.
she's like
She-
she completely 5 kids. That might like run your psyche down
Now
the
you
drain.
got
She might
7
have left.
kids. Have fun.
Or what happens? 5 kids, all different baby mamas.
Oh.
I have no seat to throw stones at. I
couldn't
can't
do it.
judge anybody, but
Right.
5 is a lot. You
Yeah.
didn't learn your lesson after
But
like
it's
the third.
splashing.
I couldn't
Yeah.
do it. I couldn't do it. Like I said, it just
No.
depends on it. It's not the kid's fault. I don't look at
That's
it.
not right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never look
That's
at it
not
as
right.
that. So it's not the kid's fault because I've been
Yeah.
through that.
But
Well-
I do think that the relationship with the counter parent is going
Right.
to be what dictates if I want to date them or not.
I just
Yeah.
don't get why women get offended by that. It'd be different if a man is saying that they're not used goods for that or something like that. But again, if you have values,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like imagine you're 19 years old, and I'm not saying you would or wouldn't, but like a man has been married. You're gonna be like, oh, like I wanted to be someone's first wife.
If you're 19
That
years
is-
old and you're trying to date a man with 2 kids, I think there's like, what's wrong with
Why
you?
not? They're used
Yeah.
goods. But again, like how come you can say that then? But if I say a woman, like again, I want to. This is a crazy take, and I might get canceled for this.
You are going to get canceled.
No, I can't say this take. No, it's bad.
I just think the term used good, like that was a controversial.
I respect a
Phrase.
woman.
Yeah.
Okay, but all right.
Okay, I'll say one more thing. I did try to date someone that had a child, and no problem, but the baby dad was just on some other stuff, and I just don't want to deal with that.
It's drama. It's just drama.
I don't want to deal with that.
And you don't have to.
I don't have to, right? That's why I
thing.
walked away.
Yeah.
Now the thing is that it's different if the dad wants to meet me because like, okay, if they have a good relationship with their child,
Yeah.
which I do love, I feel like I'm not here to replace him. You know what I'm saying?
No.
I'm just adding to your life. I have
Yeah.
no say in what you do. But I feel like if they want to meet me because they want to see who their child's gonna be around, there's nothing wrong with that. But if you're trying to, it's respectful. I respect it because I would do that too. But you're trying to like fight me. You want to trying to get in between
You're
me.
trying to flex on me.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Trying to get in between me and my girl now. Like you have no say in that, and so I just don't want to deal with that. And so
you don't have to.
And I don't have to,
You don't
right?
have to, you're
and I
right.
feel bad for her, like the mother, just because it's not her fault. But
Well, it is. She chose him. But
well, she did chose him, but if she still chooses to let
She
him,
might have grown up.
well, yeah, but if she still lets her ex control her life, then she's never gonna find anybody
That's
like
true.
that.
Look,
That's true.
last thing I want to say on this. All right, you know you're a woman, but you got some Pokemon cards or some baseball cards, right? Do you want the mint condition in the case card, or do you want the one that's folded? That's just what it is. Women can get mad all day. That's what it is. It goes for the same way. It goes the same way for the man. I would not want my daughter at 26-year-old to date someone like me. And I'm a great man.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want my daughter to. Nah, you are a beautiful young lady. You can get who you want. Sam is great. She might not be in the picture, but you don't have to want to take them kids to school. Y'all want to go on vacation.
Yeah.
You wanna
Live
go
your
on
life. Live your life.
And that's what I'm saying, but it's used. You are used. You have been used.
I do think that I, now that I have kids, would prefer to date someone with kids.
Yeah, and that's fine.
Yeah.
But like at the end of the day, it's an aggressive term. It's like saying like our friendships, do you use each other? Like you do use each other. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
I'm
it's
not doing
like-
this editing by myself.
Exactly. So at the same time, it's like you are used because you have been used. Yes, it's aggressive. It's not the nice, flattering term.
Yeah.
But it just is what it is. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And that's what I mean. Like when I say 26, 28, I think right now in my life that I could maybe date one. Now, when I turn 33 or when my, whatever the case, if it starts happening, then it's like, all right, maybe I'm going to have to see what these 35-year-old women are talking about. But I don't want no more kids. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
but it's just like you aren't, again, you've been married, so you might have some legal issues. And you don't have to deal with it. You don't have to deal with a lot
crazy
of
baby
different
mama.
type of men. Yeah,
don't.
you don't have to deal with
Your
it.
baby mama starts stepping like I don't have
Exactly.
to. I don't have to. I'm out.
And that's what I'm saying.
I'm gonna
It's
go
like-
find somebody that doesn't have that.
Yeah, exactly. And that's all I'm saying is like,
And for me, it's not like, oh, it's because I'm scared of them. I'm just like, I've seen a lot of stuff when I was a
Yeah.
kid, and I don't want the kid to go through what I went through. So me trying to fight them and stuff,
Yeah.
that's not healthy for the
It's
kid.
trauma.
And I don't want them to go through that. So if I'm the issue, I'll walk away.
Yeah.
all right, Renzo's got to go.
Aw. Renzo, don't leave.
What is do you have any like quick questions that you can ask him before he has to go? He has to really actually go.
Yeah.
If y'all want me back, I'll come back next time. So
Yeah, you can come
Really
back,
quick.
for sure,
Should men pay for the first date?
yeah,
bro. That's not really quick.
That's
Sorry, I
really
didn't mean to call you bro. But
yeah.
that's not quick.
And that's on that. It was so nice to meet you, Renzo.
That's disgusting. All right.
nice.
Yeah, Renzo. I appreciate you coming.
Yeah, next time I'll get on and I'll come back and we can dive more.
Yeah.
dive into
Yeah.
more questions.
Yo,
And bring your mom.
Bring my mom.
she's so nice.
Is she?
Yeah.
She's so
She's so tiny.
She's like 4'11".
Yeah. No, yo, Renzo. Okay.
What's up, bro?
Well, actually, we can talk about it later. All right. Thank you guys for listening. I
Yeah.
hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Comment your favorite food, and
Yes.
Renzo will. I'm just kidding. No, comment your favorite food. And go check out Renzo. It's Renzo.eats, right?
Renzo.
That's-
Oh, you can say Renzo Eats. It's
It'll
on
pop up.
YouTube, TikTok,
Okay.
Instagram,
Okay.
and
My
stuff.
fault, big homie. My fault, big
Yeah,
homie.
Renzo Eats. Renzo Eats.
Yeah,
Renzo
Renzo eats.
Eats.
I
And
appreciate it.
yeah. All right.